Lila Hart. Hello, girlfriend.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you. We're doing coffee. Oh, you're a tea girl. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
What
I got
kind
my
of
green
tea?
tea. And I apologize for my parakeets. I've got 3 parakeets over here, and I gave them some treats. I thought they'd behave, so hopefully they calm down.
Oh, well, like the only thing I know about birds is if you throw like a blanket over the cage, they'll go to sleep. I've tried that with other animals and with like, my nieces and nephews, and it doesn't work. So yeah. Yeah. Cool. Lila, God, where do we begin? So tell me about this special show that you were on this past Sunday. It was like an all Filipino
Yes,
show.
it was called Pinoy Tmix, and it was a Filipino American show where we had different Filipina rappers, musicians, comedians, and kind of just like an all-star show. And it was so incredible because it was at the Ford Amphitheater, at the outside amphitheater. My family was there to watch me. And it was the first time that my sister and her husband and my nephew, he was there with his girlfriend. My aunt was there. My mom was there. So it was even
Oh
more.
my God, it's a big deal. Yeah.
My fiance was there, and his parents saw me for the first time. It was the first time they'd ever seen me on stage. So that
Wow.
was so incredible. And, it was so powerful for me because this last month has been extremely difficult for me and my family. We lost my aunt the Tuesday before my show
Oh
in
gosh.
Louisiana. She was in a car accident on August 12th, and she was on life support. And I flew out to Louisiana to see her and be with my dad and be with my family out there. And, we pulled the plug on her, and it was really just so tragic for our family. But my family really wanted me to come out into the show to do the show, and it really just shows me that's how powerful comedy and how important it is. Because to become a comedian and to do comedy as a comedian, like, it's your job to be funny even when you don't feel like being funny. And I didn't necessarily feel like being funny on Sunday, but I just felt like the energy from the crowd, and looking up at the no ceiling of the amphitheater, I just imagined in my mind that my aunt had front row tickets in heaven. And it just was such a powerful show. And to make my family laugh after everything we've gone through was just so meaningful.
That's incredibly meaningful. So how many days was it from like when you pulled the plug to when she passed? Like how long did that take?
Tuesday. So it happened on Tuesday, and then she ended up passing on Thursday, and then my show was on Sunday.
On Sunday. Oh God. That's really difficult. Did you at any point think like, I can't do this show? Like I'm going to be too upset or.
I know that my aunt would want me to do it. She was a very funny, happy-go-lucky person and had the most amazing spirit. So I knew I could carry that with me on stage. And like I said, being able to make my family laugh the way that they did after all the tears and the sadness we had gone through as a family it was so exhilarating, and it just, that's life. And that's where great comedy comes from. It comes from pain. And we show people that even through pain, we can find the beauty. And through that, you can help others heal, because we're all hurting right now collectively. And so I knew I had to do it. I had to do it for my family. I had to do it for my aunt. And I had to do it for everybody in the audience who just needed that real laughter and that joy. And the show was just so incredible because not only did we have comedians, we had musicians, we had Ruby Ibarra, she's a Filipino rapper. We had Jules Aurora, she's a Filipino singer. And it was beautiful. The whole night was just so beautiful.
Wow, that's really amazing. And I'm amazed that you were able to pull it together, and it sounds like you crushed it and did really well. Like I remember through when my mom died in 2018, I I live in the suburbs outside New York City, and I was like, well, I mean, I knew it was coming. I knew she had terminal brain cancer. Like she'd been getting steadily worse since April, and it was August. She passed on August 2nd. I remember like the day she passed, I just was like, I went through this like, oh, well, I have 2 spots tonight and I knew this was coming. Like I was trying to rationalize my way through it. Like I was even still like on my way to do a day job at the time. Like I was like, oh, I should be able to go. Of course, I knew this was coming. And then like on the train ride in, I just like I got like just a few stops and I just like couldn't stop crying. I had to get off and even then I was like, I could pull it together and go in the city later. And I did. And it was like bomb is not even the right word for what happened on stage. Like it was just me talking about like how my mom had died that morning. People in the crowd were like, they didn't think I was actually being real. They thought it was like a joke somehow. I'm like, it ended up just me just rambling and like getting it was so bad. And I was so not funny. It was such a hot mess. And looking back, I'm like, shit, I should have realized that I could just take a night off. And I think I put a lot of pressure on myself, but what happened in the months afterwards is like all this space opened up, right? That I was stressing out about like her and her health, I think. And then it ultimately made me a better person because I was spending more time on myself instead of like, worrying. And it's really amazing that you were able to go through that and so soon after be able to do such a big show, because I know what that feels like. And you're like, do I address it on stage? Do I not? But yeah, that's really, I agree with you so much. And you're like, people really do need to laugh. Like it's amazing. Like you'll go to shows and you'll meet, and I'm sure you talk to the people after and you're like, this was the first show I've been to or been out in however many months, or people need to laugh. So it's so important. And like, I don't know. I don't talk about it enough.
Yeah, it's so important. And when people came up to me after the show and just thanked me for talking about some of the things that I talked about and how much joy that it brought them, that to me was like, it felt so good because, I that was only the 3rd time I'd been on stage all year.
Wow.
I was asked to do 20 minutes. So I was like, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to give it my all. I am going to prepare for this show like I have never prepared before. And some of the things that I did, like, when we used to go out every night in 2019 to do comedy, I could just go up there, have like bullet points in my head. This is what I'm going to say, and just kind of like riff with the audience. But this time, I listened to every single recording that I'd had of my favorite sets. And then I picked out some of the best bits that I've really worked on for the last 5 years that I was ready to showcase in front of 800 people,
Wow. And 800 people. Holy crap.
And then I put it together in like this storyline that I could wrap it up and so that I could have that confidence. And on my roof, I've got 300 plants. That's what I've done the last year and a half, is become this ultra like plant lady. But I have all these plants up there, and I just had this spatula and I'm performing for the plants, and I was just giving it my all and just praying that, on the night of the 29th that I could just, summon all the strength and just do my best, because I know that I put in the work for it, and I actually worked really hard, because like I said, it wasn't just for me, it's for my aunt, it's for everybody who's struggling, because a lot of people have lost a lot this year, and so it was like, I don't want to be a victim, I want to be a victor. I want to show people that you can be brave and you can be strong. And it was so powerful, and I'm just so grateful that, because there was that moment. I did have that moment where I was kind of just like fearful, like, do I do this? I feel fearful. What if I bomb? Because I'm so emotional. And honestly, I just gave it to God. I just gave it to God. Please give me the bravery, And once I did that, it was like, I can do anything. And I went up there, and it was magical. And the best feeling was hearing my family laugh, because I had known the sadness we have all gone through and the tragedy of losing my aunt the way that we did, and to see that level of grief with my family, and then to be able to bring them joy. It's just amazing.
Yeah.